So you got a letter from Grandma saying that your dad had gotten saved.
Yeah, and I didn't believe it.
And where were we at the time?
You wasn't yet.
Oh, I hadn't been born yet.
No, I was pregnant with David at that time. I was only like a couple months, maybe. And I got a letter, and I read it, and I told Jerry, I said, Mother said Daddy got saved, but I don't believe it. Not my daddy. So I went and borrowed the landlady's phone, called home, and I asked Mother, I says, what is this about Daddy getting saved? She says, yeah, Earlene, he did. He got saved. He got born again. She says, well, on a Saturday night, I was ironing the clothes for me and the kids to go to church the next day. And Daddy was sitting on the sofa, and all of a sudden he says, Darth, he says, I might want to go to church with you next Sunday. He said, I'll go to church with you next Sunday, but not Sunday school. Not Sunday school. She says, Earl, are you serious? Really? Because it just threw her for a loop.
I bet.
And he says, yeah. He says, I'm serious. He says, I'm going to go to church with you. She says, okay. She thought to herself, she says, yeah, we'll see what happens in the morning. We'll see. She said he got up the next morning, went in and took his shower. He got ready. He was ready before anybody else, and he was ready to go to church. He went to church with my mother, East Brent Baptist Church in Pensacola, Florida. And he went to church, and now that day, he actually got saved that day. But he went to the bathroom, and he didn't go down front, but he really was saved that Sunday. Next Sunday, he got up, he got dressed, he went to church, and he walked that aisle. He went down that aisle, and he accepted Jesus Christ as his Savior. And my daddy served the Lord till the day he died at 76 years old. He was an awesome dad at that time. He was an awesome grandfather. My kids, every one of them, loved their grandmama and their grandfather.
Absolutely. Now, tell us how he discovered his ministry at the church.
Oh, yes. Well, he wanted something to do at the church because it seemed like everybody had a job. And that was he figured that was the thing to do is you work for the Lord in your church. So Mother and Daddy had 2 babies when they were up in age, and so they were still babies. And Daddy was taking them to the nursery, Donna and Lisa, and the diaper bags and everything else, so that Mama couldn't do it. Mama wasn't able to do it. And he got to thinking about that. He says, those poor mothers, they've got to come and bring those babies in here with a diaper bag, a Bible, and a purse, and a baby. He says, I don't know how they do it. So he thought, he's going to go to the pastor. So he did. He went to Brother Hagler, and he asked him, he says, I want to be open the door at the nursery. He says, that's what I want to do for the mothers, so they don't have to open that heavy door and go in there with all they got. Pastor Hagler said, you can do that? My daddy did that for, I do not know how many years he opened that door. And if he was there 45 minutes early too, because some mothers had to go there and get ready for Sunday school and get their class ready and etc. So he told my mother, he says, y'all just can go in and do whatever. He says, but I got to be there 45 minutes early so that I'm there for that first mother.
Oh.
He did not want a mama to have to open that door. So he did it. And if he had to work at the Navy base and he wasn't going to be able to be at church, he had to find somebody else that would do it, but they had to make a promise to him. He says, okay. He says, you're going to do it for me, right? He says, yep. He says, okay, you got to promise me one thing. That's all you have to promise me, one thing. You'll be there 30 minutes early. He says, you got to be there. Actually, it was 45 minutes. And he says, you got to be there 45 minutes early for that first mother, because some of these mothers come in early to get their Sunday school class ready. He says, you've got to be there for that first one, to open that door for that mama.
Oh.
He did it for I don't know how many years. I think until he was up in age and he couldn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was an awesome.
And how many carloads of kids did he and Grandma take to church usually?
Well, they had a station. They had to buy a station wagon. Now, let me tell you this though. Mom and Daddy also took care of foster children.
Right.
They loved children, and they had, I don't know how many kids, foster kids. I know they had 2, 3, 4. They had usually about 4 or 5 foster kids at a time, and some of them stayed with them. And now there's 2 foster brothers that they didn't really get adopted because they got to go back to their mom, but they always said that Mother and Daddy was also their parents. They always did for Mom and Dad. And one of them, anyway, he would take them all to church in the station wagon. I don't think seatbelts was good.
It's a good thing.
No, because the boys had to sit back in the back where there wasn't even seats, where you'd put your groceries, and all the girls would sit in the other seat, and they'd be squeezed in.
And if we were there, we would be
2 more.
It'd be too deep.
Yes. But your granddaddy loved kids. Mother loved kids. They worked hard at that. That was not easy to keep that many foster kids.
No.
When they had Donna, Lisa, and for a while Joyce first, and then they had Cindy.
Right. Cindy wasn't a foster child that they adopted.
Yes. Yeah, they didn't have enough children, so they adopted one.
Oh,
But my mother loved kids really, really a lot.